What up, Goon Squad? It's time for another Slick and Thick. It's your boy, Gerard Michaels. Slicky Thalls, Mickey Thicky Smalls himself right here.
Hey, are you sure we're on? Because if not, it's okay. We can restart.
Nah, we're going. We're going to do it live. We'll fix it in post. That was the sweet sound of the man, the myth, the legend.
That
Slick
never
Mick,
happened.
The ruler. Mickey Gall himself. And we're joined, obviously, with our boy, the King Goon himself, Christian Perello in the booth.
What up?
And we got a special guest today, ladies and gents. We have the Presidente of Karate Combat.
CEO of Go Shed.
CEO of Go Shed.
Correct.
Asim Zaidi. Is that correct, Asim Zaidi? I said
Yes,
that
sir.
correctly?
Asim Zaidi. Sure,
Zaidi.
no
I
problem.
nailed it. Zaidi?
I'll give him
Is
a
it
90%.
Zaidi?
It's
good.
good.
Is that
eh?
Zaidi?
It's still good.
I was going to ululate, but I thought that might be too much.
It was
Yeah,
good. I
maybe.
gotta say, look, this is the coolest set I've been on so far. Like, this is really,
It's
really
cool,
awesome.
right?
And I love it here. I love it.
Look at
This
that
is really
beard.
great.
What a great beard.
No, he's put
that a
together
great
well,
beard?
man. He's
You-
put
you know what's
together,
great?
bro.
That's a
I put
fantastic
effort.
beard.
I put effort in the
You put
beard.
effort
I
in the beard?
appreciate you.
What kind of effort we go here?
Well, look, I got this oil, this beard oil called Old Money. It's very hard to find, okay? I find it, I got 5 drops a day, keep the beard shiny, style it up.
That's fantastic. It's got like layers.
Hey, I
it's
could
got
grow. I
angles.
could grow a
It's really
beard too,
good.
guys. I could totally grow a sick beard.
In
To 100%.
patches.
Nah, it'd be sick. It'd be like what you guys have. Why block this beautiful face from the earth? You know what I mean?
Yeah, of
like
course,
I
of
wouldn't.
course.
It'd be like slapping God in the face.
I was thinking the same thing. It's
Yeah.
people don't know we both stopped shaving at the same time, and that's Mick after 1 month. This is me after 1 month. And
was that 1 month for you?
No, this is I'm going on year 9 of having one beard instead of 2 chins. So I've been rocking the contour for a while.
Got you,
now women put
yeah.
different layers on, and like this is.
I always say that's
contouring
the
for men.
sign. If I have a beard, I got on some fucking testosterone or something. That's the sign. That's
No,
what
it's always been like this.
That's when I'm failing you,
about.
Sada. If you see me with a full beard, you'd be like,
Speaking of
you motherfucker.
testosterone, No, I
What
got
you
on.
got? What was that?
I got on some testosterone. I
just-
carry it with me wherever I go.
You just
Really?
Yeah,
You
of
just
course,
carry
man.
around a
Yeah, I carry-
syringe.
Yeah, of testosterone.
This isn't California, bro. Like
Whoa,
we don't
whoa,
just
whoa, that's
we just
hilarious.
don't boot up down here in Florida.
I don't play. You see, I barely fit in my fucking clothes.
Yeah, but-
Look at that, how tight that is.
Yeah, you know what's funny? You're one of the only guys who I
Damn
saw
right.
be like, you know what? I don't even work out anymore. I just take some juice. I remember I saw that you do that on Instagram like years ago.
Yep.
All right, we get it. You want Alistair Overeem to fight in your promotion. All right, we get it.
I'm trying to be. I
Alistair.
don't know.
They got
wanna
a lot
look
of
the
those
part,
things
man.
down here in
I like
Florida where what are they, like the health clinics where you can
Yeah,
kind of like
that's the
go
thing.
and get
Yeah.
your peptides or whatever the fuck.
Anti-aging clinics.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what we call it.
Anti-aging.
Yes.
Anti-aging.
Yeah.
But I told the guys, I'm like, dude, I don't want to get on a program. I want to abuse the performance-enhancing drugs.
I respect it.
Yeah, thank you.
I respect it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good to be straightforward with your doctor.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It doesn't help you by
yeah.
withholding
How's it going?
information.
I'm very interested in
Look
knowing
at him.
how
He
this
looks
goes.
great. Look at the beard.
I
He's got
know.
the fucking the shoulders.
Let
Like,
me,
hey,
let me get a little shot. Let me get a little shot.
Besides the temper, I feel pretty great.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. That's great.
I
So,
went from 192 to 220 in 3 weeks.
yeah, me too.
wow. You were in 4th grade though.
Yeah, I did it with easy cheese and Ilio's Pizza. I didn't need no doctor. We
Hey,
did it the old school way.
So what do you think about? Do you think there's guys in the UFC with the strict drug testing that are still juicing?
Well, I would like to hope that they're not. The testing seems pretty great. Unfortunately, there's some fights that got canceled in Saudi. You heard about that, right?
Nah. What happened to that?
Oh man, there was a guy. He's a great fighter, and I loved how he got caught and got in front of it. So he got signed by the UFC. Jolton Lutterback.
Okay.
So actually, Jolton Lutterback is signed with my wife's management in Goat Management. And he got short notice called 3 weeks before the fight.
He fought for karate combat.
Karate combat.
Yeah.
And he got called 3 weeks before, and he signed whatever, and now he got popped. And he's like, dude, I took it 3 months ago. I never thought I would get signed with the UFC. I'm 32 years old. I had no idea.
I thought I would get away with cheating. I had no idea I wouldn't be allowed to cheat.
Yeah, what the heck?
I was just trying to cheat in peace, and then they called me up. The hell?
Poor guy.
Oh, so I didn't know. Yeah, I saw him go in and then go out.
That's hilarious. Can you imagine if I pulled the same thing in like baseball? They were like, "Hey, you got called back up." Oh, I'm not ready yet.
No, it's that Dave Chappelle joke. It's like,
You need like
I'm
6
sorry.
more weeks.
It's Dave Chappelle joke. He goes, "I'm sorry, officer. I didn't know I couldn't do that." That's the white guy.
David, I got it.
I was impressed.
Sorry, officer. I did not know I couldn't do that.
All these UFC fighters are like, tainted supplement, tainted supplement. He's like, well, I juiced, but I didn't fucking know you were going to call me.
Nah, it was it was back
I
then.
was
It was a long
inside.
time ago. Yeah.
Summer was coming up. I just wanted to go to the beach, like, come on. That's hilarious. Where he's like, I just didn't think I'd get signed, so, all right.
So
well.
in your expert opinion, though, I'm curious. Because I don't know shit about it. I've never taken anything. I don't know. I don't know how to do. I wouldn't even know how to do it if I tried. So that I'm not trying to go to sleep fucking worried and all that shit. Do you think it's possible that there are fighters? 'Cause people say that there's juice fighters, but I can't say yes or no. You know what I mean?
I don't know too much about how strict the testings are. I would think it's very difficult, right?
Well, you got UFC fighters.
Yeah, but that's the thing. None of them. I'm not going to let my fighters. Hell no. No one in my gym is going to take anything.
Okay.
I'm performance enhanced coach. Hell yeah.
Performance
But
enhanced coach,
I don't mind that. But not my fighters. No chance in
Right.
hell I would allow that in my gym. It's a bad reputation for everybody. It's
Sure.
no bueno, right? So no, I would hope that nobody's juicing, but I'm sure there's some people that slip through the cracks, right?
I hear people that live in other countries, it's easier because USADA pretty much only busts United States fighters. You know what I mean? So like you hear someone goes to Thailand for about a year, it's like might want to be a little suspicious of that guy.
And they're not sending anybody to test them in Thailand.
Well, here's the thing: they could send them, but it's going to be a Thai guy who, if you're like, here's $100, you pee in that cup, that's their fucking year salary. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So they'll be
totally
like,
get
okay,
it.
I'll do that, and like, yeah. So and it's that shit's like legal. You go buy it at
No, that makes a lot of sense. I
yeah.
never thought of that. Holy
Mexico,
crap.
Thailand,
this
shit
is-
like that.
well,
Okay.
This is kind of well known
This
in
is
other sports, though. Like this is
projection?
why,
What do you call that?
projection. No, this is like the
Conjecture.
It's definitely conjecture, but it's like the unspoken rule, like why Kobe would always spend his off seasons in
Germany or whatever,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. And
I never knew this stuff, man. I'm gonna send all my fighters to Thailand or Mexico. Freaking get them
Yeah.
juiced up
Between
like me.
fights, right?
Yeah. Why
What am I
not?
doing here? What am I doing here?
I tell you the one that I actually don't like, and Mick and I talk about this all the time. The fighters that miss weight, they win against the spread 60% of the time.
Wow, I didn't realize that was a statistic. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, we just
That's
saw
wild.
Kelvin beat D-Rod.
Yep.
And D-Rod's my boy. And, Kelvin he pulled out that third round. That third round, Kelvin was able to take him down, have the energy to do all that.
You're very right.
I got to believe they took care of D-Rod for stepping up, moving up to 85. Hopefully he got at least 30% of his purse, plus, whatever other type of discretionary bonus they gave him, I hope.
But it's just crazy.
But
The underdog who misses weight, the average underdog wins once out of every 8 fights in the UFC. 1 out of every 8.
Oh, wow.
The average underdog who misses weight wins 1 out of every 4. Twice as likely. Doubles your chance as an underdog of winning if you come in overweight.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wild, right?
Yeah, these are
Especially if
wild
you're making
statistics.
10-10, it's like, all right, maybe I'll give you fucking 2 if it's going to guarantee I'm going to win. You know what I mean?
And then the general public doesn't give a shit. The general
Nah,
public
it's-
They
doesn't
forget
care.
about
What'd
it.
you do in
See
there?
somebody
They
win.
forget about it. Yeah, exactly. That's
They
all they're
just
going to
see you win.
remember. That's all they're going to remember, somebody winning and
Crazy.
somebody losing. Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Me and Mick talk about this a lot as far as like weight classes are concerned. If everybody is walking around at 200, cutting to 170, and then fighting at 190 anyway, why is anybody cutting weight?
Well, in one championship, they do the hydration test. And that's something I was considering to do for karate combat. But I realized they fake that too, man. I don't know if you know how they do that. So they still cut the weight. All they do is they cut extra weight. They chug like a liter of water. They gain back only 2 pounds. They still cut the weight.
Yeah, and they
pee
hold on to
hydrated.
their piss.
Exactly. They hold on to their piss.
It's basically now you're
Yep.
sucking weight while holding your pee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's BS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's BS. So it's just like there's no way around it, right? Everyone's gonna freaking cut weight unless you do a weigh-in on the same day. But then you start taking risks, like jiu-jitsu tournaments, right? They have weigh-ins.
But then
same
guys
day.
will still try and get that, size advantage. I don't know what the answer is because
It would be
we talked
hard on
about
the
it a
same
couple
day.
podcasts ago. But we don't know what the
same day weigh-in would be hard.
wouldn't want to
fake.
deplete yourself
of
so
course
much,
not,
right?
But that's then you're taking risks. Like now somebody comes in 7 pounds over or something. Now it's a mess, right? It's day of the fight.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
a good
tough,
point.
man. It's gonna be tough. But
I think
wish
they would have to
somebody
do
did that.
almost like they do year-round drug tests, surprise drug tests, year-round surprise fucking weight.
Oh, I like that. Well, you have to be within 10 pounds of your weight at all times. I kind of like
Perhaps.
that. I'd be in for that.
But then it also, UFC is about fucking freedom.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, you know what I mean? I feel like the drug tests alone is like someone's knocking on my door at 6 a.m.
Well, everybody
taking my morning pee from me.
And also, it's also like everybody just as whether it's true or not. The public assumption is that USADA's not in the UFC anymore just because they couldn't get Conor McGregor to pass a test. They just couldn't do it, so they got rid of USADA.
I don't know what they still have a lot of the USADA people involved.
They do. I thought they separated.
Jeff Nowitzki's still the head of it.
Okay.
It's just like Clean Sport or something it's called now, and it's basically the same. I got drug tested out the wazoo.
Okay.
Just like everybody else does.
But they're just not using that name USADA.
Exactly.
And they're not using that
same,
company.
but basically the same things, and they're trying to make it even better.
Are they doing it with like one championship and stuff like that? Are they all?
I don't know.
There's no way. Those guys
no
look,
shot, right?
Those guys do not
we know
look
the guy.
natural.
A couple guys who fought Ung La were fucking juicing.
Yeah,
I believe it.
100%.
I believe it.
They need it. You're facing Ung La, you know.
Yeah, fucking
Burmese
right?
pythons that you coming out there, you know. These guys, these poor guys. I mean, if you're growing up in Cambodia, you're malnourished. You might need some tests, you know. They're not getting the same.
I wish there was a league where you could juice. What about that?
It's
What if there's a
Major League
league?
Baseball. It's fantastic and it's back.
I don't know. You're the president of a league.
I can't do that, man. I'm gonna get crucified for that one.
How funny would it be?
Yeah, I would love it.
Bro, watch how many fucking fighters would sign up
funny.
tomorrow. They're like, no, is that right?
No weight classes, no drug testing.
Yep.
Karate combate.
It's
Well,
just,
that was the whole thing
all
with Pride.
Brazilians.
Brazilian combat.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah.
But they did that with Pride. Like, I remember hearing in the contract, it's like, we will not test drug testing.
Really?
Yeah, so they're not, they're like, we will not. So
They're very obviously juiced to the gills in
sure.
Pride. It was awesome. It made for an exciting. People
Fucking
get
A.
soccer kicked and just stand up. It was like nothing.
for
It was like
Rattleman.
Yeah.
Just looking, 60-inch back, 28-inch waist. It's just like, this is what I want to see right here.
Oh yeah.
That's great, man. Just nothing but Brazilians and Russians.
That's it. That's it.
Change your name to Dana Off-White. It'd be fucking hilarious.
Dana Brown. That's
Dana
his,
Call me Dana
Yeah.
Brown.
Dana
Yeah,
Brown?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
All right, well, I didn't want to go
That's
that far
close.
with it.
Dana
Okay.
Off-White was the second choice, by the way.
Was that right?
But Dana Brown
Dana
chose Dana
Brown?
Brown. It made more sense.
Yeah, it makes more sense. That's so funny if one of your fighters pops and they're gonna be looking at you carrying around the needle.
That
They're
would
gonna be
suck, dude. If what? I'll leave this on the table just so.
G's that's gonna be in G's ass in about 2 minutes. That and that butt plug. He's gonna follow that thing right up with.
Not necessarily in that order.
Oh,
I thought that was
I
a
didn't
chess
see the butt
piece.
plug.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a chess piece too.
Of course, that's what it is. What
That's
are
how
you guys
we
talking
think. You know what I mean? We're not disgusting
Dude,
fools like him.
My mind totally. I saw a bishop.
Yeah.
I literally saw a bishop
Yeah,
sitting
exactly.
next to the
fleshlight.
Yes, the fleshlight. I
Yeah.
don't even know what it's called.
about? Oh yeah, neither
Yeah,
do I.
right.
My wife's
No
proud
one
of
does.
me. My wife's proud of me.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it. What?
I see it on the Instagram advertisements.
Is that right?
I don't know why.
Now that we've said it out loud, the algorithm just.
Oh no.
You're gonna get the worst ones. You're gonna get the Temu ones or something like that. It's like that. That's our good friend Candace's right there. Now you're gonna get a Wish.com one of Lizzo. And it's gonna be like, I don't want this. Nobody wants this.
It's terrible. I just see Andrew Tate and then fleshlights on my Instagram. That's just all that's the algorithm for me right now.
Huh.
Yeah.
But you didn't even know what that was called, huh?
I didn't know what it was. I'm learning now.
So Chris, let me ask you: if you put a fleshlight up your butt and a guy had sex with the fleshlight,
That's
is that
totally straight.
is that
That's
gay? Not
fine.
straight, right? Because
That
he's
that's
having
fine.
sex with a vagina,
Yeah,
technically,
that's
right?
that's allowed.
And what do you think?
I'm gonna have to go ahead and disagree,
Wow.
guys.
Yeah?
If I'm being honest,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, CP.
That's
I can't.
I mean, that's the straightest way to be homosexual.
Yeah. Yeah.
There can't be a more straight way to be homosexual
It's like
than
you're
that.
trying. You're trying. You're trying. I'm trying, God. I'm trying. I'm praying it away so bad. I'm trying, man.
Oh man.
Gotta stay prayed up, bro.
Like,
Gotta stay prayed up.
How much easier it would be like to do time if they just passed one of those? Or you think you could buy those at commissary? You know?
Oh no.
You know, you can't?
I don't know. I have a friend that's in. I probably should have mentioned his name. Whatever. I have a friend. He was a student. He's been in prison for some time. Oh shit. He's gonna be watching this.
Send him a fleshlight, guys.
Shout out.
Yeah,
I don't
someone
want to say his
send
name,
him a
but-
fucking
Send him
flashlight.
a
That could
somebody-
be contraband.
I gotta ask him.
They're gonna.
If I FaceTimed him right now, we shouldn't do that, right? He could get in trouble.
If he has a phone in jail, he
does.
certainly.
Yeah, he posts on Instagram. We talk all the time.
Really?
FaceTimes me. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, bro?
That's some player shit right
yeah,
there.
he's there. Yeah, he's only got like another 7 years or something.
Only?
Oh, something light.
Send him 2 flashlights, guys.
Yeah, he's gonna run through that one in about a
Oh man,
some variety.
I hope he's laughing right now when he sees this.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are they have such ingenuity when they get inside. They might have made one out of like, toilet paper and a Doritos bag or something.
Okay,
You know?
you're gonna be shocked right now. They make boxing mitts out of the toilet rolls. And they hold boxing mitts with the toilet rolls.
Really?
And I know this because we just had in Karate Combat Billy McFarland fight. Do you guys know who that is?
Do not.
Do you know who
that's the dude from
Firefest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He fought.
How'd
The
he
guy
go?
who scammed people out of $100 million. He fought for it. He knocked the guy out.
I
No
thought that was
shit.
Ja
Oh
Rule.
yeah.
Damn, he didn't
was
get.
nuts.
Yeah, it was
With a
supposed to
white
kind of be
belt on.
revenge against him, but he
That's the
fucking
thing.
Hey, bro, it's all you know what I mean. It's all.
It was
It's all
supposed to be
fair up in
revenge
the
on him.
fucking.
And he ended up winning, knocking the guy out. Phil Nurse was in his corner.
Okay.
GSP's commentating. Joe Rogan's watching. It was a simulation. It's like life wasn't real anymore. It was nuts.
Wow, yeah.
good
No
for him.
justice there.
Yeah.
Do you think you
Yeah,
get Joe?
good for him.
Who's your wish list of guys to get on Karate Combat? Would you want to get like Joe Francis on there? Like what do we got?
So today we had Little Pump tweet that he wants to fight Dylan Dennis. That was really strange.
I will pay you
I
however
bet
much.
you Dylan takes that fucking
I
fight.
will
That
pay
was, that was super
however
random.
much money you want to not make me suffer through another Dylan Dennis fight.
I know
It's not the
that,
little pump
man.
isn't the issue.
I
It's
will
the-
give you as much money as you will take to not put that on.
Yeah. And that's the general comments underneath. People are a little upset.
my
But
God.
this rule set might be interesting with Karate Combat because you can ground and pound, right? So maybe he can use his takedowns and do, some ground and pound
Throw more
techniques
than
and-
one punch in the first 3 rounds.
Wait.
That'd be nice.
I don't think Dylan will beat any like real legit top level fighters, but he'll beat that
Little
fucking
Pump.
rapper's ass.
Yeah, I mean, I
Right?
love Lil Pump. I'm Gucci gang out, Skeet. I love
We're
that
all
stuff.
we're all obviously
It's
Gucci
awesome.
ganged out.
Yeah,
but like,
oh, my man right there.
I'm just saying.
But I mean, I have to be neutral. I don't know who would win the fight, I guess.
Okay.
I can't say that, right? It's
All
kind
right.
of obvious who would win that
You
fight.
have a syringe in front of you, sir.
how much of that does
You
that
can
syringe
do whatever
cost?
you want. This is slick and thick. We're
Yeah,
free
we
speech
keep it G
absolution.
real, brother.
Whatever
We're all
you
about
want here.
fucking talking.
Yeah, if you thought you
real
were gonna-
shit, free speech.
Yeah,
man.
if you thought you were gonna come on here and do some corporate shit, I'm sorry. this ain't, I see he's got his nice baby blue zone over here. You know?
Hey, it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Come on.
I appreciate it.
Would you let a guy bang you with a
Oh,
flashlight address?
no. That's, it just
Brock
can't happen.
Lesnar is gonna fight
Oh, God,
for karate
no.
combat, but he said there's one thing
Oh, no.
has to happen first.
Oh, no. That's a bit too much of a sacrifice. I'm not a company man like that,
That's real
I have
shit.
many people that'll take the sacrifice for us, and they'd want to keep their jobs.
Dana White. No, I'm sorry. Brock Lesnar says, here's the thing. All right? I'm going to sell 30 million pay-per-views. But that fleshlight.
It can't happen. It can't
nah,
happen.
I'm with you, brother. I'm
No,
with
it
you,
can't
bro.
happen.
No? All right.
Nah. Come on, man. He's a real man.
All
So,
right.
hey, how long have we known each other, Asim? How long have we known each other?
About 8-9 years now.
8-9 years, right?
Yeah,
Back in
TriStar.
TriStar
Yep.
with Faraz Sahabi,
Exactly.
all the
Yep.
boys up there in
What is
Canada. huh?
TriStar for those that don't know?
That's shit. It was like one of the best spots up in Canada. One of the best MMA gyms in the world.
Yep.
Run by Faraz Sahabi. His brother Ayman Zahabi's in the UFC, killing it.
Yeah, they were
great
top
spot. That's where
3.
George St. Pierre came from.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we trained up there. George was there when we were training up there.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it was a great spot.
It was top 3 MMA gym in the world for some time. It was ranked up there with Greg Jackson and ATT. And
I haven't been since COVID, bro.
That's the problem, right? When COVID happened, Canada just got locked down like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
a lot of the fighters had to move out in order for them to train properly. So,
I
TriStar
saw
lost.
Mandel Nalo got a win recently. Bro, what a fucking beast he is, man.
He's
What
unbelievable, man.
Yeah, what a great talent.
I really hope he gets to UFC because he's an undiscovered talent.
That'd be a good guy for Karate Combat, no?
I would want to sign him, but I believe he wants to go to the UFC. And I don't want to step
Okay.
in front of his dreams if that's the case,
Right.
And I
That couldn't help him get there?
So with Karate Combat, we want to get the strikers that are going to stick with us, right?
Got you,
if
got
somebody has the jiu-jitsu ability that they can go in the UFC and do it, then go ahead and go into the UFC. We want the guys that will hopefully want to stay striking, and that's their passion, and they don't want to be grappling and stuff like
So
that.
tell me about karate combat for guys like me that are just, normal civilians, don't know the difference. What's the rule set difference from normal MMA? Is it strictly karate? Are boxers in there?
You're going to love
Well,
it.
my boy Joe Schilling just was in there. And I think since you came on board, so I've been following along. I was aware of it before you were involved. And, since you've been involved, I've been even more interested. You changed some of the rules, so there's a little bit of ground and pound in there, too.
Oh, yeah. No. We switched up a lot.
You have the flat mat, and then you have the padded ramps. I like that a lot.
Definitely.
A lot of good action. You see guys coming off the ramps. That's really
what do you call that? Is that like the pit?
The pit.
Yeah.
And it's way better platform for many reasons. You know that with fence wrestling, you end up stalling on the wall many times. You're vertical. It's hard to take the guy down.
Right.
Different things like that. When you slant the walls like that, the action just continues. If you back up, you're kind of screwed. You're helpless. The second you fall on that pit wall, you're just a sitting target. So it forces the action, right? Guys have to fight in the center, and then it makes for an exciting fight.
What is that, blood sport?
It really, right? Very similar. Very similar. Way better for viewing, too, right? With filming and everything, and then watching, you don't have to look through a fence. So there's so many advantages of it. As far as the rule set, it's simple. It's the same as MMA, just remove the submissions.
Oh, so you're not doing points.
Okay.
It's not like karate.
No.
How long
no,
is there a
no.
time limit till you can stay on the ground?
As long as you're actively striking, you can stay on the ground. The second you get held, you stand back up.
Okay.
So it's just a war.
Very interesting.
It's just a war.
That's
It's great for the casuals.
And that's the first of its kind.
Oh,
I've never heard that type of rule before, right?
Definitely. It's the first of its kind. And, there's no striking organization which allows you to strike from everywhere. You can strike in the clinch, on the ground, anywhere you'd like. So
that's beautiful.
It's a free flow fight, yeah.
But no
awesome.
active grappling, though. Nobody can, I can't shoot to get you on the ground.
Yes, you can. We can take down judo tosses, hip tosses, all that stuff. Catch the kick, double leg
You just got to stay fucking swinging on the ground.
You got to swing on the ground. Yeah, if you're just holding a guy, they'll stand you back up. No submissions.
Got it.
So it's pure striking.
What indicates a stop of strike? Can you frame for a second? Is it like a 3 second? Or I'm holding them and you're up. How is it? What is the referee's discretion?
It's at the referee's discretion. But the second, somebody you're in closed guard, right, and your arms get wrapped up, you're gonna get stood up. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to stay there.
Okay.
So, and it makes for an exciting fight. When you look at boxing or kickboxing, first of all, you got the big gloves, which already I think for fans, they're like, it doesn't feel the same as when you see the MMA gloves, right? So we got the MMA gloves on, so that's one. And then two, when you watch boxing, kickboxing, it's unrealistic in that you get dropped and you got 10 seconds to recover. And then, you don't know. In a real fight, usually you get dropped once, you're going to get finished. It's not, you don't have 10 seconds, that Tyson Fury thing, right, where he sits up. Right. It's really dramatic and fun, but it's not real.
It's the part of it that I like, the comeback.
It's really fun. It's like Rocky, right? But Rocky would have lost in real life because you get dropped once and you get finished in the UFC. Yeah. So you kind of have that. You have the finishes because the second guy gets dropped, you go and finish the guy. So it becomes more realistic, far more realistic,
That's great.
Elbows,
that's really
knees,
cool.
the whole striking.
So the only thing that's different than MMA, I'm glad you mentioned that because I forgot about that, is the elbows. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I would love to change at some point. But as of right now, we have a lot of families watching because it's called karate. So with no elbows, there's less blood. Mm-hmm. And I think it's like a more friendly environment because of that. But as a purist, I want the elbows.
Sure.
So
100%.
hopefully bring that.
So you when we met at TriStar, you were fighting.
Yep.
Now you said, what, you're 220 now? You were fighting at, 145 back
You were fighting at 145?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
He was fighting at 145?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. He was in, Christian's weight class over there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I went through a whole thing. I was a fighter. I won kickboxing worlds a couple times. Then I went pro in MMA. I used to fight at 55 and 70. I tried to go to 45. It was the worst time in my life to do that weight.
You'd be a tall 45, though.
Yeah, it was horrible, though. I'm a 200-pound guy. I'm not a 45er, And then eventually I decided to become a coach. I started training some fighters. They were doing amazing. We opened the Goat Shed, right, which is the most viral MMA gym on the planet. We get 15 million impressions a month on that one account, so it's pretty awesome. And we got a great record there, but now I got offered this presidency position. So now my time's split between coaching and now being president.
And you're doing a lot of good things for young fighters coming up over there. You're letting them sleep in the gym. You're feeding them.
That's a big thing about our gym that's unique. We provide a place to stay. You got your meal plans, washer, dryer, kitchen, all that stuff. And we take care of these guys.
That's phenomenal, man. Yeah, that's great.
It's really awesome. I had to, unfortunately, it became my passion to coach these guys. I fall in love with my fighters, and I want the best for them. And I had to step away. So now I've semi-retired from coaching. I'm only coaching the UFC guys and a few other prospects.
Who do you got down there at Gosha, UFC guys?
So we got Jillian Robertson. She has the most
Yep, of
submissions
course,
in
yeah.
UFC history for females. We got Francisco Prado. He's 21 years old in the UFC. We got Eileen Perez, who twerks after she fights
That's
everyone.
his new favorite fighter.
Yeah,
she fought right
are you
before me.
subscribed?
I'm not. I didn't know. I got to be honest. I didn't know who she was. I was there to watch Mick fight, and then I was enthralled by what was happening in front of me. And then they started cutting to my boy's promo. I was like, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet.
Yep.
Come back in a minute.
Yeah,
Come back in.
I saw a thing on one of like the MMA meme pages. It's like, now as an MMA fan, you need like $400 a year on pay-per-views. You need $100 for Fight Pass. You need $200 for ESPN Plus and $30 a month for Perez. Is it Perez?
Eileen Perez,
Eileen Perez's
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Yeah. So we got her. I mean, we got Dennis. We got Bernardo Sopai. So we got
Dennis?
Dennis. He's with Aljo a lot of times. I don't.
Oh, Bazooka, my boy. Yeah. I love that kid. Yeah.
So he comes down with us for camps, and then we also have a coach Salman that follows him to Vegas. So
right.
we have like a team of 6.
He's a great
UFC
kid,
fighters.
man. Great kid, very talented fighter. He's fighting again in August now.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited for him.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah, I
do
love
great.
that kid. Great, solid person. Good Albanian boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
What makes these gyms succeed in foul, right? Like, I mean, everybody knows Jackson Wink, or I don't know if it's still Jackson Wink now. There was the Black Zillions, then the Black Zillions went away. You got Killcliff. You got American Top Team. What was the other one out in California? Everybody was at for a little bit.
AKA, you got Kings MMA out there.
So what makes these gyms kind of rise and fall, do you think? What makes these kind of like, is it groups of guys coming in together? Is it coaching style?
There's a lot to it, but I think more than anything, the coach has to absolutely love their students. It needs to be a passion for them. They need to be willing to sacrifice their life for their students. And if you've got that, then you'll grow something special. But if it's not that, if you have a coach that's in it for the money or or just the wrong reasons, I just don't see him being able to grow anything there. Goat Shed was based on that. Like, I just wanted the best for my guys, and I worked really hard to promote them, to promote the gym, to get them active.
A few of those guys are now up at Killcliff with us.
Yes. Oh, shit. Yeah, we had a,
Right.
what do you call it? Like a rebellion inside the gym. And
What do you mean?
So 2 years into the gym, we had a rebellion where like half the team left to Killcliff with one coach that I had hired, and the other half stayed with me. And then we continued to grow, and those guys parted ways.
Okay.
Basically, there was a rumor that my methods were going to get me blacklisted. We were going to get blacklisted
By
across
like being
Florida.
viral and all that shit?
Yeah, by acting crazy or being viral or what they didn't perceive as good business or not professional. Ironically, I'm a 33-year-old president of a $500 million company.
And that's what I told him. Is like, you guys are kind of like the new kids on the block, making noise, like doing it, on that new age shit.
Oh, you're the NWO. You guys are like the New World Order.
That's what it was. And we were wild with it. And then, they basically, a couple guys had a meeting. There was a guy I hired as a striking coach. He sort of created this rebellion against me. And he's like, dude, the way Asim's doing it is just not right. That's not how a coach acts, all this stuff. Meanwhile, now he holds pads, and, I fly around and hang out with the royal families.
Come on. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
What's going
There
on
we
here?
go.
That was a shot. That's a shot across the bow right there. That's
Not
not that there's anything wrong with holding pads.
I probably know what he's talking about, so I'm going to ask him not to say any names here. We'll have to talk after. It might could be someone.
Is he holding pads for you?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't honestly know. I don't want to know right now unless we're gonna have to start hitting cuts on this episode.
Got it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He's an important person over there?
I don't know who you're talking about,
Okay.
genuinely.
Okay. Oh, great.
We'll talk about that after.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No,
She got hot. My wife's hot over there sweating.
Yeah, I mean, we can cut it out. Who the fuck is it?
Is Dieter Navarro?
Fuck, man, I love Dieter. Yeah.
It's okay,
And
If you say it again, I can beat that.
Yeah.
I should have beat that.
No, it's all right. It's all right. We'll just cut that little part out. Now, I do love Dieter. That's fucking shame.
No, in all honesty, though, I don't want to blame him too much because what he said or what he may have thought could have been true. Because the way I was promoting and acting, I don't think it was done ever. And it was wild. It was risky. And he could have been right.
Right.
So like, I'm not going to blame that. He was a more traditional guy.
Sure.
And I took a lot of risk and it paid off, but it could have not.
Sure.
And probably he would have been more right more often than not. I know how to move in certain ways, although it's not the norm, and so I don't blame him, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, but that's sports though. Like
All right, let's clap again.
But that's sports though, right? Like there's the Yankees, and there's people that have that personality that feel good in that environment, and they succeed in that environment. There's other people that won't succeed in that environment, right?
Yep.
Like some people need to be a little bit more edgy or wild, or need to be the heel, right? That's where they feel like the best version of themselves. You can't have Dennis Rodman not be Dennis Rodman.
Yep.
But if you understand how to use a Dennis Rodman, he can help you win. You know what I'm saying? So like, I never really enjoyed the whole one size fits all. You got to act like a pro. This is how you do it. Yeah, but also like, you know, it's not you getting punched in the fucking face. So why don't you let me do things the way I want to do it?
That's something I can say about you too. Is I remember you've always been like solid. You've always been a good dude. I remember you came. I did a meet and greet down here a few years ago, and you brought like some of your guys through.
Yeah.
I remember you were like, bro, everyone thinks I'm an asshole now because you were going out there and like putting that side of your fucking personality out, turning it up to fucking 12.
Exactly.
Which is the same thing dudes like Sean Strickland are doing. You
Yep,
know what I mean?
you're right, you're right.
And I give them credit, and I credit their fucking balls for putting that side of themselves out, because that fucking works.
Exactly.
You know what I
man.
mean?
And if I didn't do that, you know, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to make an amazing life for my wife and I, the way we're living right now, because it was a lot of suffering, man. Like, you know, I used to sleep in the gym with my fighters too. You know, and it was not easy. I would work from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, 12 hours a day, or 13 hours a day. I wouldn't leave the doors of my gym because I was working all day long. I would clean the mats and teach every single class of the day. You know, and it was a hard life, and that's what it took to get. That's not the part I'll show on Instagram, because that's not sexy. That's not fun, you know? What I showed on Instagram was, oh, I got a car luxury sponsor that I pretended to own, and I would drive a Rolls Royce, and I have a company that owns a wholesale jewelry exchange, and they let me wear $500,000 on my neck, even though it wasn't mine. That's what that looks sexy. Yeah. And everyone's like thinking they thought it was all mine. They're like, wow, that guy, you know, he has family money. It's like, oh, I just turned it in the next day. You know, that shit's not mine. But like, whatever. They thought it did, but that's what I showed. Meanwhile, I slept at the gym.
You do have family money, right? You do come from successful family?
I'm so happy because I never get to talk about this. This is so important to me because my mom, my father, and my mother are my biggest heroes. But my mom is something very special, and I'll tell you this. So my mom, she hadn't met her father. She didn't know who her dad was. This is in Pakistan. Her mom, she didn't meet her till she was like 16, 17, something like that. She didn't know who her mom was, right?
Okay.
She came here with no money. No education yet, young girl from Pakistan. You got to imagine, women in those countries, they're taught, get married, have a kid. That's your place. You know, she was a single mother, and her and her husband, my stepfather, I remember them sleeping on the gas station floor. You know, they saved up enough money eventually to buy a gas station in the ghetto, like 3 hours north, you know, and they would sleep on the gas station floor because they couldn't afford employees or anything like that. And I remember being a kid, I used to live with my dad. And my mom would be like, hey, if you sleep in the gas station with us, you'll have free candy. You want to do that? And I used to think it was a game. And I used to do that. I thought it was fun. And I had no idea my mom had to work 24 hours a day. Literally, the gas station doesn't close, right? 24 hours a day, every single day of the week. Now my mom lives in a mansion. We call it Goat Mansion, right? She's the first person in my family to buy a mansion. She's the owner of a Hilton hotel. And to imagine a woman who didn't have the parents, right? Didn't have those people from another country, immigrant, came here with nothing, single mother, to finally owning a mansion in a Hilton hotel.
It's an American dream, brother.
It is, and it's remarkable.
And you know what's cool is like that's great that you're proud of them, and like and you like put it out there. Like some people are like embarrassed by that. Think like, oh, I gotta be like tough and from the streets. It's like, why? Because your parents were fucking winners and busted their asses. You gonna fucking hide that and be ashamed of that? That's crazy.
No,
you know what I mean? I went to a high school with a lot of fucking rich kids who were like that. Like they'd be kind of like they didn't want to hide it, but you should be fucking proud of what you got.
Exactly. You know, and the other day, so you know, I'm in a position that's, you know, it's a blessing. There's a lot of great things, but it requires a lot of responsibility. I'm working more than I've ever worked. My wife and I work maybe 80, 90 hours a week, and it's been really rough on us, you know, just mentally, and it's exhausting. And my mom took me to dinner. She sent me a random text. She's like, let's go to dinner. And I went to dinner with her, and she said, Asim, I don't know what you're going through, but I want you to know whatever you're going through, it's going to be worse for you, and it's going to get worse. And you shouldn't ask for anything better. You need to be stronger. That's all. And if you want to make the big bucks.
That's some G shit right there.
Yeah, she's like, if you want to make the big bucks, I don't want to hear you complain about anything. And I never complained to her. But I think she could see to my face I'm just getting tired, you know? And she's like, from a woman that's been through everything, keep going. You're fine.
Wow.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's some G shit, man.
wow.
Asim, I called you here today because I feel like you're being a bitch.
Oh, you tired, baby? You know how many times I slept on that gas station floor?
It's wild, man. You know, so
That's beautiful, man.
Family has money. They're all very successful. My uncle was a taxi driver, passed away with $50 million in his account. My
How
father.
the fuck did a taxi driver go to 50
Yeah,
mil?
50 million from Pakistan. So my family, it's such a crazy background. I wish I could tell stories about all of them, but they all came here with nothing and they all made it. And not just made it, but they made it huge
50 million
by
is nothing to shake a
themselves.
stick
By
at, man.
themselves. Yeah, nobody helped each other, by the way. It wasn't like my uncle helped, my mom or none of that. Everyone's on their own, and I'm on my own too. My parents may give me support and give me the education, but there's unfortunately no Zells to the account. I wish I had that growing up. So that's just not the way my family's built. You have to make it on your own. That's just the way it is. Yeah. So my uncle was a taxi driver. He eventually saved up and he got a convenience store. Very classic Middle Eastern thing to do. Saved up, got a hotel on Ocean Drive before Miami was Miami. So it's very
You're
cheap.
Miami born and raised, and your
Born and
family
raised.
all when they came to America, they
All
settled
in
down in Miami.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
yeah. So he got an Ocean Drive hotel before Ocean Drive was Ocean Drive. Then it came to Miami exploding, so that hotel, he sold it for a shit ton and bought a block in downtown before downtown was cool. And then eventually, now Miami is what it is. He sold the whole block in downtown, and he is
What about your pops? Because I know you're.
My dad's a
from
killer,
Instagram, your
dude.
father was involved in martial arts.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he got you involved with martial arts, and you were like taking lessons from Elio Gracie as a kid.
Exactly. Well, that's the part. Okay. See, if there was anything I was ever spoiled with, it was with a really good education. Not in
just
college.
school,
I'm a
but you're
dropout.
talking
I'm a
about-
dropout. I'm a college
Yeah.
dropout. Education meaning from my parents. Like they're phenomenal entrepreneurs, and they taught me a lot of life principles that are, by the way, completely opposite of what anything you'll see on Instagram and all this motivation crap
Well,
out
drop
there.
some shit for the fans, man.
Yeah.
What type of life principles?
No, I mean, I'll tell you this. I think a lot of people hate on money, for instance. And I think that's a big thing. A lot of people trick people. They don't want you to focus on that stuff. So they'll tell you like money's the root of all evil. Money's a bad thing. In order for people to get rich, they have to scam people or they come from money. They'll constantly make these excuses and just hate on money. And at the same time, they're chasing money. It's like, how is money ever going to find you if you're hating on it the whole time?
Yeah.
It's just never going to, you have to respect it. So I think a lot of people say like, for example, like money's not everything.
That's a necessary part of this fucking life.
Very
though.
necessary. You want to take care of your parents. You want to take care of your children.
family,
You
yeah.
have to. It's just what it is, Like, I see how hard my wife works, and it upsets me because there's thoughts in my head where I'm exhausted and I just drained. And I hear her say those thoughts sometimes, and it breaks my heart because I don't want that life for her.
Right.
I want to build us a great life.
My
And
sister's involved in the management game as well. My sister Jamie.
Okay.
She works with Dave Martin, so I know it's like around the clock, like working way too fucking much. Like,
Yup.
It's a lot.
It's
Working
a lot,
for all
man.
these fucking dickhead fighters.
That's
like,
basically.
these needy ass motherfuckers, right?
Basically, And then unfortunately, she didn't ask for it, but I gave her a position in karate combat to help me out, and it's been tough. But anyways, we don't hate on money. It's something that, just to give you a really cool story, actually, growing up, because my wife always thought this was a cool story. So, growing up, there's a holiday in our tradition called Eid. Okay, during this holiday, it's kind of like Christmas. There you go. It's kind of like Christmas, but instead of gifts, everyone gives you money. So as an 8-year-old, I would have aunts, come with like $100 bill. They'll go around your head and they'll pass it to you. It's almost like a blessing, right? And everybody would do that. And it's like, I don't want to say you're respecting money.
Yeah,
you're taught to respect money, And then whenever growing up, it's time to pay for the bill. My parents would never pay for the bill. They'd hand me the money, and I'd always pay for the bill. So an 8-year-old kid, that's something they always taught me. Or if I need to buy something at the movie theater, concession stand, they would never give the cashier money. I had to give the cashier money. It was always a
My
thing.
dad would break my arm if I tried to pay for the fucking money.
You eat, I pay.
Yeah, exactly, like Tony Soprano.
It
Right?
teaches you something
consider
interesting.
yourself-
Yeah,
do you
no, that's
consider
super
yourself
interesting. I never
Arab?
heard
Are
that.
you Arab? Do you consider
So,
yourself?
so originally my family's Iraqi and Pakistani. So that's
What was
but
the first one?
Iraqi,
Iraq.
Iraq.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I was
Got
born
it.
and raised in Miami. Like I'm a Miami kid,
Yeah.
So
Guys, we got him.
You know, but yeah, definitely. I don't know too much about the culture now that I'm going to Dubai and Abu Dhabi and the UAE so much, and spending time over there. Now I'm learning about the culture.
Well, the reason I asked, right, the Arab Persian culture is very ostentatious with their money, right? Like if you talk about, you know, going over there to Dubai, and it's like, you know, they're very conservative in the nature and their religion, but then they show up with like a Maybach that only 4 of them in the world are made, you know?
Exactly.
Like, you know, so the idea that, you know, an Arab dude who grew up in Miami was not going to be flashy is kind of fucking hilarious. Like, you know, it was like Rick Ross and fucking PBD had a baby. So yeah, I mean, listen, people that hate, it's all insecurity. We all know that, right? They're like, oh, this guy had money or this guy had this. There's a lot of people that had money and, you know, they put it up their fucking nose. They had it scanned away from them. You know, the Chinese have a saying about the third generation as a reset, right? So like the first guy is the worker. He understands money. He makes the money. The second person comes up with money, doesn't respect the money, and the third person has no idea how to work or respect money and loses it all. So then the fourth person has to build the money again. So I mean that's the idea of the grandkid generational. But like people that can build generational wealth, if you understand money, man, I mean money's a tool. Money is no different than a chainsaw. You put a chainsaw in the wrong person's hand, he's going to cut his leg off. You put a chainsaw in the right person's hand, and you know he'll build a house.
Exactly.
So you know there's nothing to ever like you know be upset about. I mean I don't understand like why people would be mad that you were like flashing. I haven't seen the videos frankly. So is the idea that like you were poaching people with these videos or
no, not at all. I think they were mad. They're like, look, this guy just hit the block. At the time, you know, when I opened Go Shot, I was like 29. So it's like, oh, he's a 29-year-old coach. We've been doing this for a decade. Why is this guy coming here saying his fighters are the best, pulling up in a Rolls Royce, wearing chains?
Why's he got a Rolls Royce when he paying me $19 an hour?
You know, they were mad at all those things, but you know, at the same time, you know, time has passed. Our team record is 110 wins, 12 losses. We are 8-3 in the UFC with 7 performance of the night bonuses. We can't argue it now. We're pretty successful. And then now, on top of that, you know, thank God with this position, it shows that I understand the business well enough to achieve something like that.
Nah, for sure. When I saw you were getting involved there, I was like, nice. So, I was like, that we got a new fucking player in the game.
I appreciate it.
Well, I got one more question for you. You said that you're not as involved in the coaching anymore. So who did you hire to replace you?
That's a good question.
Because, you know, I think I've heard the same thing. My mentor, David Adiv, who I, you know, learned from forever, he was like, don't, like, open a gym till you're ready to be on those mats every day, pouring yourself out. You know?
Exactly.
So now you've done that, but now, you know, you had other things, other blessings come along. So now who do you have filling your shoes?
And one thing I'll say is, like, I had my heart broken many times as a coach, which is why I decided to step away.
How so?
It wasn't necessarily because of the presidency. So basically,
like fighters leaving, or what do you mean?
Yeah,
why was your heart broken?
I'll give you a couple stories, you know, that really stung, and I'll tell you the last straw for me. I just gave the speech Monday that I'm retiring from coaching the majority of fighters. You know, I just gave that Monday because this was a very sentimental thing to me. My heart was definitely broken. So poured my life into this gym, coached 13 hours a day, paying for all these fighters' meals and all this stuff and giving them a place to stay. Now, with this presidency position, I have a superpower. I've always wanted to find a wealthy guy to back my fighters, and, you know, God bless me where now I'm the wealthy guy that can back the fighters. So I would pay for visas. I would pay for attorney fees. Getting fighters out of their contracts in different organizations, I could pay the breaking fee for that. I could do crazy things. I remember one camp in Mexico, I spent like 12 grand on one training camp for a fighter. So that way he could live in Mexico for a month. I could fly out his training partners. I could pay for everyone's food, pay for a driver, I'm able to do these things now, thank God. There was 1 month where I spent, I counted like 63 grand in 1 month on fighters, on other people. You know, so why is that? Am I ever going to see a return? I will never see that return. In that 1 month, I won't see that return. That could easily go to making our future. But I did that because I love my guys. But after getting smashed over and over by so many fighters, and, you know, Dean Thomas, a lot of very famous coaches warned me. They're like, Asim, you're doing too much. You're putting your hearts into these guys, and you're going to get burned. You're going to get hurt. And it happens. So I'll give you for instance. I had one fighter. He threw his first punch in his life in my gym. Okay? First punch in his life. He was with me till 5-0 amateur, 7-0 pro. Okay? His uncle didn't have papers, whatever it was. We got his attorney fees, take care of that. He stayed in the gym. He had a place to live, took care of his uncle too, took care of his brother. We did a lot of things. He goes to me, he's like, man, I think I'm going to retire from MMA. I said, no problem, man. Okay, you want to retire undefeated? Look, you're tired. I get it. Retired, we cancel his contract. 2 weeks later, he books a fight somewhere else, signs with another management. And it's like, dude, if you grew apart from me, fine. Just say, I'm not happy. And that's okay. People have done that, and that's no problem. They're just not happy.
Right.
But that was like, that tugged at my heart a lot. And then, I have other fighters that have left, and they talk so bad about me. And I'm like, dude, I funded your career, man. I did everything for you. How could you? You slept on the gym, floor. Like, I took care. How could you say anything bad about me? Like, why? Why? I don't understand. So after that happening over the years, over and over and over, and Dean looking at me, and he's shaking his head. He's like, I told you. I told you. I told you. And Dean Thomas said it very clear to me. He's like, look, all fighters, almost every fighter believes they're going to be world champion. And because of that, they feel entitled to your attention, to you funding them. They're like, oh, he should be happy to pay for my freaking meal.
He should be happy to give me training.
Exactly.
I've heard a lot of coaches gripe about that, especially in this new generation. They all think they're
it's a mess,
McGregor
man.
Juniors. And
you're very right, And then so that happened to me so many times, and then finally there was a last straw. There was a manager, and this manager, he goes to me. He poaches one of my fighters for my wife. And he ends up signing one of my wife's fighters. So I call him like, hey, man, I would never sign your fighters. I don't try to poach. I pay for their whole training camp. Pay like 15 grand one camp, 12 grand here. Like, it's crazy. I pay for all these things. I don't try to poach them. And he's like, you're disrespecting me by throwing your family's money in my face. Your parents pay for these fighters, and you throw it in my face. And I'm thinking, like, man, my wife and I work so hard for every dollar we make. And this guy's spitting in my face, and I'm spending money on his fighters. Why? Forget it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Do your thing, man. All these guys, I'm going to take care of the guys that I want, the guys that earn that attention. I'll focus on them. God willing, if somebody's able to work hard and get there, I'll take care of them too. But I need to be with a group that I believe in and I trust. That I trust more than anything.
Right. And
that's
they
all.
Reciprocate that respect.
Exactly, man. It's too much.
Is there a conflict of interest with you being president of a promotion now and then having fighters that are under you?
It stinks. I have 3 fighters from Goat Shed that are signed to Karate Combat, and I really don't like it because I can't corner them. And that's like a tough one. And a lot of them are like homegrown. And it's like, dude, like you've been with me for so many years. I really care about this guy, and I can't corner him anymore. I end up getting in tears when they fight because I'm so emotional and I can't say anything. So it's tough. I by the way, like, I hate to sound so sensitive, but I truly love these guys.
Well,
they're like
it's the test.
Yeah. Oh, very true. No, but I love these guys, man.
Yeah, 100%. That blood of the covenant. You know, like I've talked about it before on the podcast, but like they say, everyone think like blood's thicker than water. That's what the saying has been bastardized down to. But the real saying is, blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb. The bond you get it means when you go to war together, shed blood together, spill blood together. That bond is bigger than someone who's shared the same womb as you.
Wow,
that is deeper than a brother or a sister. And it's the same thing when you corner people. That fucking feeling is so helpless. Yeah. It's weird because all of fight camp, like when it's you're feeling the nerves the whole time a little bit. But then when you're cornering, like you want to make sure your guy's good. But then when it's time to fight, when you're in the locker room, even when you get in the locker room, it's chill. And then when you're about to leave the locker room, it's like, whew, I hope we did enough. And then you get to the cage and you watch your brother get fucking locked in the cage, and you're out here fucking helpless. Like, this ain't a street fight. I can't go kick this guy in the fucking head if he gets on top of him. It's like, it's helpless as fuck. It's real thing. That's not sensitive, man. That's the love, and that's blood of the covenant right there. That's real shit.
No, I love how you put that. I'll never forget that quote, actually. That's pretty amazing.
And the biggest problem here, man, is resource insecurity, right? A lot of people don't know how little money there actually is in MMA until you get to the highest levels.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
There's guys that are pro fighters, quote unquote, that are making half of minimum wage a year.
There's guys in the UFC who are fucking struggling.
Yeah, there's guys in the UFC that are, they'll
even in the highest level. You know what I mean? Like you said, to the highest of the highest level.
Yeah, I mean, if you fight twice in the UFC and you're brand new, what are you making? 30 grand? If you win both, maybe 60. I mean, that's
Not quite.
Not
but
quite.
like,
Not quite.
Not quite.
Almost.
So I mean, you could come out and work retail out of high school and make that money.
Yep.
You know, so I think one of the issues at the lower levels is like everybody just is desperate. It's desperate. And if you're in a position where you don't need to be around desperate people, like that's just like, man, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah, you can't be surprised when people are making those moves because it's like you said, it's that desperate kind of thing where it's like they're like, the only reason why I'm not there is because him. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they fucking make a jump and then they go there and they realize it's the same shit.
And yeah, we call it the curse of the goat. It's like a strange thing that, everybody that left the gym, that first year, I think it was the first year they either didn't fight or they just only lost. It was very strange, and there was like a little karmatic thing that happened there, maybe. But I don't wish bad about any of those dudes. You know, like how we talked about earlier, that rebellion, it was very illogical. Everything I did in this sport so far has been so against the grain. Now everyone's coming and saying, wow, that was amazing. That's
how
genius.
it goes, right? They call you crazy until you fucking, then you're a genius.
Yeah, exactly.
You're crazy until you're a genius.
Yeah, definitely. You know?
Even in kickboxing, I mean, you kickboxed at the world class
Yeah.
level, literally world champion level kickboxing. What type of money was that?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Man,
nada.
if I say that world title, I made like $2,000 in Italy.
$2,000.
Yeah, I was representing the USA in Italy against Azerbaijan. Fought I don't know how many fights to get there, and it was $2,000.
Yeah,
Man,
Henry Hooft had like
that's
over
insane.
100 kickboxing fights. That he's
I mean,
like,
that's like a round trip flight to Italy.
Yeah.
$2,000.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, we'll fly out there, kid. Good luck. I mean, that's you have to do it for the love of it, but also at the same time, you start getting into your mid-20s, and it's like, bro, I got to do something with my life here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I gotta make some money. I mean, I don't know, but also, can you wait tables when you're doing 2 days in MMA? Is your body okay to work construction? Like, if you were gonna do it over, we've kind of had this conversation and we settled on firefighter. We think firefighter's like the perfect job to have if you're going to.
Right, you do, what is it? Like you do 24 hours on, then you got like 2-3 days off?
Yeah, 24
so
hours
like
on.
24 hours on, maybe you could lift some weights, do a little strength and conditioning at the firehouse. And
at
then
the firehouse,
yeah,
you need to
do
take
your
some
training
time off.
after that.
Yeah, what job do you think? Because I tell people this all the time. My big thing when I was playing baseball was I didn't run out of opportunity. I ran out of money. I was still good. I was just broke. So before I could get a chance to go like really.
He was in the Cardinals organization, minor league organization.
Okay.
About like
very
200 pounds ago.
So yeah, probably so you run out of money before you run out of opportunity. So my big cliche thing I say is don't chase your dreams, finance them, right? So if you're going to be fighting and if you're a kid coming up through, what is a job that they should be doing? What's something that they should be doing to make sure that they don't run out of money before they run out of opportunity?
So I love that you're mentioning that. I have one fighter in particular that pops in my head, Brian Coos. So this guy,
Yeah,
Third Street
Third Street
Savage. Third Street
yeah.
Savage. So he opened up a business called Dirty Boys. It's a junk haul removal thing. So now
He had a juice thing
he
too,
has
right?
Coos juice, right?
Yeah,
It's Coos
yeah.
juice. So, but
He's a good kid, man. I like him. I
he's
met his
amazing.
dad. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'll explain to you the principle that's important here. See, if you're constantly focusing
Super
on
talented fighter too.
Oh,
Nothing
yeah.
to keep interrupting.
No,
Just give him
don't
his
worry,
props.
don't
You know
worry.
what I'm saying?
He's
I like Ryan.
He's 8-2.
Big veiny dick, I heard.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's the rumor.
Thick.
Yeah, he's 8-2, really big prospect. And one thing is, so the quote I was going to tell you is like, if you're constantly focused on survival, you can't focus on the business. And that's the problem. You know, so like, if you're focused on how am I going to pay rent this month, you're not focused on your training. It takes away from your training. So it's nice to be financially secure so you can focus on your passion or spend money on your passion, right?
No, you have to be because
You have
if
to.
you're going to be eating correctly, if you're going to be training correctly, desperation reeks, and then that's where if you're in the sewer, that's where the rats come, right? So,
Exactly.
but I think too many people don't work. I think too many people go, oh, I got to get all in. I got to put all my focus. Being financially stable is part of that. You're
right.
And if you're fighting at the regional level, I don't think you're going to be generating the income that you need to. I mean, they get paid at the regional level, right?
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah,
like
but,
$1,000.
Sometimes
you know?
and sometimes that
Not
your medicals will be
exactly.
equivalent to your pay, to
Exactly.
your purse. So it's almost like a wash.
I'll tell you, one of my fighters. Well, I'm going off topic, but one of my fighters fought for a title, and he fought for like $800, but the medicals were $2,000.
Yeah.
And like I paid it, but at the end, he was like, dude, it's not cool because you're paying it, but if I didn't have you, I'm going negative, and that made him sad. And I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. Like, we'll get to a higher level, and you'll be able to take care of that yourself. But going back to the conversation with Ryan Coos, so he has this junk removal company, and this is what happened before he opened that company. He told me, he's like, dude, I can't focus on training because I'm broke and I'm not happy with it. And I have a girlfriend that I'm taking very seriously. I want to start a family, and I just can't do anything I want to do because I'm constantly struggling on surviving. So he opened this company. He bought a truck, and he does junk removal, all this stuff. And now he's got it as a passive income where fighters now can work that job, essentially like a garbage man.
So they can
type
make some
position.
money.
So they can make money, and he's making money as well. And now he buys a second truck,
that's great.
and he creates a business, and he did it. And he did it, and he's having a kid now. So it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome, that he was able to do that. But the whole point is...
Not everybody's an entrepreneur, though. I
No,
think that's
of
an
course
outlier.
not.
I got to be honest. I think that's an outlier. There's
You're
a lot
right.
of people that
Fair.
are going to hear that and are going to go that route. And
You know what
it's not
GSP
gonna
did,
go
right?
well. No.
So I was with GSP, like 2 weeks ago, and we were training every morning with John Danner, and he was telling me stories. And actually, we went to dinner, and he got kind of annoyed. He's like, man, some of these young fighters, they annoy me. I'm like, what happened? He's like, they asked me, they're like, hey, on the come up, how'd you get sponsors? What'd you do to get sponsors to pay for your training? And he's like, motherfucker, I was a garbage man. It's like, sponsors? What sponsor are you talking about? I was a garbage man. That's what, and I was a bouncer on the weekend.
But I like that, though. There's something to that, because when you are doing your training and it does suck, you get to do garbage, and you're like, all right, I need to fucking win. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm
That'll
saying?
light a little fire under your
Yeah,
ass.
they're 100%. It gives you that perspective. It gives you that understanding of like, all right, well, this is what's on the other side. You know what I mean? This is...
Bro, I remember when I was driving the fucking bread truck. I was driving a bread truck overnight. I remember all night I'd just be fucking like visualizing. Like I'd be listening to music just all night, visualizing between the thing. And yeah, it made me feel I'd want to pop out and start shadow boxing in the middle of my fucking route.
I think Uber. I think there's a lot of great opportunities. Like Uber's great.
Yeah, nowadays probably even more so.
Uber's good. I drove Uber during the pandemic. I mean, there's what.
You asked me the best thing to do for a fighter. It's going to sound crazy, but if they can learn about finance and crypto, that's probably going to be the easiest thing.
Yeah,
understanding something on their phone, right? Where they can just like, they could just
lay on the couch between training sessions.
For real, I met a guy the other day. He went to he sponsored. He was our platinum sponsor for our last event. I mean, I think he made like $4.something billion in crypto.
Shit, fuck.
Yeah, he made, I believe, the most money on crypto in history. And he wears a gold mask. So if you watch the pictures in Texas, it's a guy with a gold mask. It doesn't show his face. And I asked him about it, and he's like, dude, I don't want people to know what I look like. he's like, I can't go to Disney with my kids. They're going to be like, oh, that's the billionaire. He's like, I don't want that.
Smart.
So nobody knows what he looks like.
Fuck that guy. You have $1 billion. You could hire security. Right, relax. There's it's not like the Saudi princes.
I have a gold platinum mask with diamonds on it.
You can't see what I look like. Yeah, shut up.
He's an ugly guy. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly. He had one pimple one time, and it's like, never again.
Oh, gosh.
That'd be me, bro. I'm vain as fuck. I mean,
he puts a gold beard on.
I'm wearing this because I'm famous.
He gets gold hair plug injections where he can't grow the beard.
Man, he was telling me that, I don't know how much this is true. He was telling me there's like weird deaths right now with crypto whales, like billionaires in crypto. And that's also a reason he's scared of it. Like
It's
to
been
show his
happening for a
identity.
long time, man. Guys that have like kept their keys, crypto keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another reason he told me, and I was like, for real? He's like, yeah, there's like weird things happening. He's like, I'm just not even playing that. I'm like, okay, no problem. It looks really cool. I like the gold mask. I want a gold mask.
The guys that got in on crypto early were all either feds or autistics anyway. So it was 50,
he was the owner of Shiba Inu.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so he made his own coin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Shiba's doing pretty good, man. So he white papered his own thing. Yeah, like if you could write a white paper or become a programmer, that's probably the best. But I'm just always fascinated by like how guys get to the level where they need to get to. Like there's so many other things. Do you think people that have better social medias and more exposure get more opportunities?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And I'm the case study. My fight gym is the case study because nonstop. Look, we were the most active fight team for 4 years in Florida. In Florida fights, we were the most active because we sold the most tickets and we would promote the most. Like if you want to sell out an arena in Florida, you would have to put my guys because I would have a guy, maybe he sells 200-300 tickets, you're going to make, okay, I'm going to make like 40-50K off this one fighter.
That's the way it works in the regional scene, man.
Exactly.
You can sell tickets. Come, you can
That's
fight.
it.
What do you think about that,
Exactly.
Mick? What do you think about that? Do you think?
I get it. I 100% get it. I mean, what these regional promotions, they're trying to make money. They're not. It's you know what I mean. It's not the. They're not the UFC.
Doesn't that give the Dagestani guys like an unfair advantage? They're just focusing on the one thing constantly, while everybody else has to
go,
be a
like,
garbage man, and now I'm
and sell
a social media star, and
No.
these guys just have to work on Smish.
No, because if the regional guy wanted to be like, hey, you're gonna give me that Dagestani? Nah, give me someone else.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they could probably call their shot a little more.
Oh, no, interesting.
Yeah.
He's 100% right.
Really?
Of course you can. You know, and
They
the
don't
thing
want to
is-
see, they want to see that guy keep fucking. They're gonna take care of that guy. If that's selling 300 tickets, that's crazy.
On a regional scene, imagine this, right? On a regional scene, this guy finally gets an opportunity to fight. His fighter pulls out, but he sells 10 tickets. The promoter's not going to replace his opponent.
Yeah,
Like the
why?
guy
It's
says,
like,
"Oh, we lost the fight. No big deal." With my guys, it's like, "Oh, we lost the fight. The promoter's
gotta
scrambling.
scramble.
We got to fly somebody. He has to fight. We sold 200 tickets. We have to do it." And then, boom, my guy fights. You know, and it's like, so you get more active. 100%. That has something to do with it. You know. Even
But it's probably like young comedians.
Oh, it's
like
exactly
you.
like that,
If you would do what are they called, bringer shows?
Yeah. Yep.
And you have to, if you basically sell tickets. So it's the same thing. If you know, I mean, it's not like you got an opponent pull out type thing, but if you can sell fucking 100 tickets to every show, that promoter's gonna want your ass on stage.
That's me. I do.
Whether you suck or not.
100%. The people that open for me, I'm like, okay, man, I really like you. You're really funny, but this guy sells 50 tickets, so
Bang. There you go.
exactly
guess
it.
who's coming on the road?
Same thing.
Guess who's
Same
opening
thing.
up? Yeah.
Same exact
You want 20
thing.
minutes on Thursday? I got you, boo. Yeah. Come on.
You know what sucks with karate combat? You know, there's a couple fighters that they just don't get the views, and you know they want to make the big bucks. They want to be world champion and get their title shots, and it's like it's really hard. No one's watching you.
People gotta
and
give a shit.
They have to care
gotta give a
about you,
shit,
man.
man.
And I try to tell them, like, guys, you need to promote yourself. You need to go out there and own the mic. When I give you that mic, or I put you in the worst thing is the fucking press conference. Listen to this. I pay all this money to rent out an arena. I get all these people sitting in front of you. I put a microphone in front of you, and you say, "I'm going to let my talking happen Friday night." You're like, bro, I just put a microphone here. Spend
You got a
hundreds of
hot
thousands.
mic,
Are you
baby.
crazy?
Let's go.
Sell a ticket. What's wrong with you,
Sell a
man?
ticket.
You know, like, you know how much that arena costs? And now you're going to say, I'm going to let my talking happen in the cage? Are you fucking stupid? I swear to God.
It's not enough.
No.
Oh, make fun of his race and religion.
You gotta own every
Tell
moment,
him if
man.
this was a different time, you'd run through the favela with your boys on horseback and kill every man not fit to work.
That was one of my favorite quotes, by the way. I love that one. Yeah, that's great.
Do it!
Man, your recall is amazing, G. You fucking
Yeah,
nailed
that was
shit.
wild.
That was good.
I gooned to it.
Was that Chael or Connor? That was
Connor,
Connor, right?
Connor,
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, but then in Chael, exactly.
Chael's the man.
Never lost
Yeah.
a round. Never lost a round, Chael Sonnen. Never lost a round. Just
So,
ask him.
so what do you got coming out next for Karate Combat?
So we got Orlando Friday.
Orlando.
Yeah, we got Orlando Friday. We got Rafael Alves competing against James Vick. So they both fought in the UFC.
Oh, yeah.
Rafael Alves, I mean, I really...
Christian was telling me about him earlier.
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
And
Oh,
I
he's awesome.
I know. Yeah, I've seen James Vick obviously a bunch.
Yep.
Yeah, he was.
Have you seen Rafael Alves fight before, or not so much?
I'm not very familiar with him.
Dude, he was a phenom, Brazilian dude, just jacked. I don't know what, whatever. I'll leave that alone. Yeah, but whatever. So anyway, so
Horse meat. Horse meat.
the guy's jumping in air and doing backflips and kicks during the
What
fight.
weight did he fight at?
I think he was at 45 and 55.
Okay.
But yeah, for us, he's fighting 165. He's put on some muscle.
Okay.
But anyway, so he, really talented guy. He's the main event fighting James Vick. And then we have a nice undercard, But it's a small show. We're doing it in Universal Studios, like 2,000 people. And then we have our big show in Nashville. That's gonna be huge.
It's his favorite city.
Oh yeah, okay.
favorite city.
No, that's
Nashville.
gonna be a big one. We got Sam Alvey competing. We're talking to Violent Bob Ross. A lot of different guys. So it'll be
You
a good
got
card.
Violent Bob Ross?
Yeah. We're trying to get-
Yeah, he's a fun fighter, man.
Oh, yeah.
He got
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit of a raw deal back in the day.
For sure,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of high level guys.
So you're
competing
doing
for us.
grappling events too, huh?
Yeah, we started. So what happened is it started with Craig Jones. Actually, he just really started talking so great about karate combat, and some
Yeah.
people internally were like, "Dude, let's put on some grappling matches and give back to the jiu-jitsu community." So we tried it out, and it went absolutely viral. It's the best platform for grappling. You can never go out of bounds. You know, so everyone got really obsessed with it. We're talking to a lot of different people that want to use the pit now in their grappling competitions. So
Who do you got going this weekend?
for grappling, we got Phil Rowe. He's actually competing against somebody he has like a little rivalry
interesting.
with. Yeah.
He's got a rivalry with someone?
Yeah, he's got.
Me and him were going a little back and forth on Instagram today.
Oh, no way. Oh,
I
you
was trying
guys
to
are
fight
the
him in
same
the
way.
UFC.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been trying to fight him for a little bit.
How does
Really?
that work with the UFC? If you wanted to grapple, would you be allowed to grapple?
Yeah,
How does that work?
he's in the UFC.
Yeah. Yeah, we get a lot of guys in the UFC that want to grapple.
Maybe me and him
so.
should do it. I should finally make my highly anticipated return to grapple. I haven't grappled since I got in the UFC. I haven't done I haven't done one.
I wish I would have. That would have been awesome. Damn. That
What do you mean you
sucks.
wish? In Nashville?
No, but the Friday. I'm talking about right now. That would have been sick.
Nashville, bruh.
If he's down to go back to back, I mean, why not? But damn,
Or
man,
someone else.
I would
You
have
throw me
freaking
someone
loved
else.
that. No, we got to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I don't know why.
I haven't done them. I've had a lot of people reach out. I had I remember like in the
Why
past.
don't you just cash in the money in the bank, and then whoever won has to fight you right then and there? That's how it works, right? You just cash in the money in the bank.
This is a WWE thing.
Yeah.
I'm
You guys not do
embarrassed to
that?
admit I'm not familiar.
Do you not?
How does that work?
You get the money in the bank.
What does that mean?
It's a WWE gimmick.
I know.
Wait, but how does
what
it
does
go?
that
How does
mean?
it go?
So there's a big fight in the beginning of the year, normally at like Royal Rumble or something. Somebody has to climb up the ladder, pull the money, and then they get the money in a suitcase. And at any point, they can cash it in for a title shot. And normally it's a great gimmick when, like, you know, the big champion goes through a really tough match and barely pulls out a win. Then you run down and you cash in the money of the bank and you lay on his lifeless body to get your 3 count and you're the champion. And that basically starts the new. I'm embarrassed
I
about this.
pulled that off in real life in Mexico.
That's all right. Anyway,
Well, the
I'll just do a legit match. I know, like I've had people reach out about doing them before. The what is it?
Yeah,
What's the one they
Pit
do?
Stop Series.
A bunch of them have reached out to me, but I was like, in the beginning especially, I was like, because I had done probably 100 grappling matches before I got in the UFC, and then I was like, no, I'm just focused. I got to get my striking up, do all this shit. But I think it's about time I get back into the fucking.
I like him a lot. I follow dude. What's his name? Malaki.
Malacca? What are you talking about, man?
Nah, he's
I
really
know we
great.
had
He's got a
Greek
great
food today.
Instagram. He's a black belt professor. Great, very very interesting.
I know who you're
Instagram.
talking about.
You know
Malachi.
Malachi, yeah.
He did a show at the studio.
Yeah, he's an interesting dude, and he did a whole thing that ADCC.
Oh, you want me to grapple him?
Well, here's the thing. He said more UFC guys would grapple if all they did is just get rid of heel hooks and leg locks. Just don't do that.
Well,
And then more
the
guys,
UFC Fight Pass Invitational, with some matches, they make like exceptions where they're like, oh, no heel hooks and stuff like that. I believe they make that rule once in a while, you know, to protect the UFC guys. So
yeah, because I mean,
once in a
look,
while.
you go out and grapple. I'll have a good time, but like, don't blow my fucking knee
Yeah.
out, dude.
I'm
Like,
not worried about that.
Nah, I don't think you're worried about that.
Not worried
either.
about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you got it. I know your jiu-jitsu's legit.
I want to do
remember,
the
I
knee bars.
remember.
I want to do the heel hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, it'd be a lot of fun. I think anytime that there's more eyeballs on the art, it's a good thing.
For
man.
sure.
It's a good
Well,
thing.
you know what's strange with karate combat? A lot of the karate guys hate on the jiu-jitsu. Like, they're like, oh, why are they doing that? Why are they allowing that in karate combat? But the jiu-jitsu guys love the karate combat. So it's kind of strange, you know? It's like, I don't know why there's that discrimination there. I think it helps all martial arts. You know, we bring the views to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the whole point of it, you know?
How about Ross Levine?
Ross Levine just retired.
I know, bro. But what a good. I thought his post-fight speech was great,
Perfect.
and I remember him. I trained with him up in like Boston.
Yep.
Years ago, and it was really nice to see him. He's fucking a phenom, bro.
Oh, he's an absolute phenom, you know.
Yeah.
And we're talking about one day doing like a Hall of Fame for karate combat, and without a doubt, he has to be on discussion to get into the Hall of Fame. You know, he has to be. He's probably the greatest champion. He was undefeated in his weight class, finishing everybody with highlight reel knockouts. And his last fight was so poetic. It was finally in front of Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan absolutely loved it. He went there and shook his hand. He made a great speech after, right? And it was really dramatic, and he did what he had to do. So it was great.
Well,
Yeah,
if
that's
people want to watch a 60-year-old Mike Tyson fight Jake
Oh,
Paul,
my
do you think you can
gosh.
get an 81-year-old Chuck Norris out there in karate combat?
I never
Chuck
thought
Norris
of it,
versus like Frank Dux or something? What's his name? Dukes?
We're not talking about that. We're talking about me grappling, motherfucker,
Norris,
bro. I grapple him.
Mickey Gall grapples Chuck Norris.
I think Chuck Norris is a black belt too, actually, in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Well, he talked about it. He went and trained with the Gracies back in the day.
Yep.
And he was like, "Whoa, what the fuck is this?" And
He
then
did a challenge match with Orion.
Yeah. And he got all into it. He wasn't like
Was
one of those
Chuck
guys.
Norris like a legit fighter? Was he legit?
Yes.
Was he legit?
Yeah, I'd say he was more legit than some of the.
You think who was more
Others.
legit, him or Bruce Lee?
Probably Chuck.
You think Chuck was more legit, really?
I'm not. I couldn't say it for sure.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, Jean-Claude Van Damme was.
But I
apparently
think
a karate
Chuck
champion
Chuck
too, right?
competed
You're
more than
right.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I don't know if Bruce Lee competed. I think Chuck competed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like
if
we're
you
saying, like
compete,
we know him.
put your fucking balls out there and put it on the line.
Yeah.
I give you more credit.
Yeah.
Isn't there
I
something
agree.
with that dude Frank Dukes? Is it Frank Dukes? Is that how you said that? DUX, right?
Yeah.
The Bloodsport guy. Isn't it like that story that he told? Maybe not all 100% true.
What story was that?
Like the
I wasn't there.
Bloodsport's supposed to be like the Kumite. It's supposed to be like his true story.
I had no freaking idea about that.
Yeah.
Well, now I feel pretty ignorant. I had no idea that was a real thing.
Well, a lot of people like kind of call him out on
Yeah,
it.
I can't- I would-
because both he sold the movie twice, and it's Kickboxer and it's Bloodsport.
Yep.
And they're
yep.
both apparent like so he was like he had told people he was this like Green Beret and that while he was over there he fought in the Kumite and people were like I don't remember you ever being in the army. Aren't there records of this? You could just show us. Like you could show us. Everything was lost in a fire. Oh, okay.
That's a legend, right?
Well, I guess we just believe you then.
Yep.
Alexander Library over here.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's like the moon landing. We lost it all. I don't know what to tell you. It's gone.
With Karate Combat, I mean, I want to bring legends like that. I mean, maybe obviously they can't fight.
That's cool. You did Luke and Schilling.
Yeah, we
Schilling's
did Luke
my
Schilling.
boy.
We did Pettis and Benson Henderson 3.
No shit.
Yeah.
I fucking missed that one.
Yeah, man.
When was that?
That was in December.
All right.
Yeah, in Las Vegas. So we did Pettis, Benson Henderson 3. It was awesome. Benson really went after it. It was such a tight fight.
Did Pettis win 3 times against him?
Yeah. But what was really cool? Okay, what's cool about Karate Combat is this: if it's a split decision or a draw, it goes to an extra round.
I like that.
Love it.
So what happens with Pettis and Benson? It was a split decision, so it went to an extra round. So that way there was a definite winner.
My dream, if I were to open up like it would be no time limit fight.
Oh, I love that.
No time limit fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
There must be a winner.
At an hour, maybe call it a draw. But like, let the boys cook.
Yeah.
Let them cook. I love Pride 10 minutes.
Yep.
You know
it
what I
was
mean?
Great.
They should. I would love that. I think that's the ultimate expression. You know what I mean? As you said, a purist earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love to use that word because that's fighting in its most pure form.
What stinks is like, you finally 5 minutes, you
Stand
take the guy
him
down,
up.
you grapple, you mount, you finally catch his back, and then they're like, oh, it's time, start against the inning.
Yeah,
Like,
you
oh,
need a
gosh.
break? No, we're fucking fighting.
Yeah,
There's no fucking
exactly,
breaks. And then what? You're
exactly.
gonna let us fight again? Nah. In the streets, it gets broken up by the cops and it's over.
Yep. I felt
You know?
bad for Damien Maya. That would happen to him every time.
Yes.
He would take everyone's back in the first round, and then, you got to restart standing now.
Good luck getting out
It's
of
like,
it.
oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It changes the dynamic for sure.
Yeah. Well, shit. Let's let you get to Orlando
Yeah,
with your
right.
fucking show, baby.
Yeah,
This is
man.
great, man.
Yeah.
This is great.
So
Yeah, we'll have you
tell
back
people where
on, man.
Tell people where they can find you. Tell people where they can find Karate Combat.
Yeah, man. So Karate Combat, we're free on YouTube, free on Twitter, Facebook, and we're on Fight Pass now. So essentially, we just want as many eyes as possible on Karate Combat. That's the objective, right? So there's no paywall behind us. And because of that, I mean, Dubai had 51 million views. It was freaking nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, and our Texas event had 27 or 30 million views, something like that. So we get like these crazy, crazy numbers. So you can watch us for free on YouTube. And then if you want to find me, President Asim, on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, catch us Orlando Friday.
Fantastic.
Welcome
Awesome.
to the fucking show, baby.
Welcome
yeah.
to. I'll do
you're
my
great,
plugs.
man.
I got a show Tuesday night here at the Field, Shamrock Comedy Club. Come
I'll
out
be there.
Tomorrow night at 7:30. Thursday night in Boca Raton at Sad Man Comedy Cafe. Saturday night in West Palm Beach, and Sunday I'll be in Louisville, Kentucky with the great Carol Ann Miljavik. So come check out those shows.
Oh, shit. Carol Ann, eh?
Carol Ann, me and Carol Ann going back on. We're gonna do 4 shows, running it back, but starts on the 30th in Louisville. That's Sunday, Louisville, Kentucky. So 4 shows this week, 4 shows next week. Come check them out. Help pay my rent. Thanks, guys.
Well, my name's Mickey fucking Gall, and I plan on being back in the UFC Octagon in about September time. Wife's having a baby in October, so I'm going to try and chill out after
And maybe
that for a little bit.
grappling in Nashville. Who
Maybe
knows?
grappling in Nashville. We'll have to,
Let's go.
figure that shit out.
I'd have a
You know
good
what I'm
time.
saying?
That'd be a lot of fun.
You love Nashville, eh?
I love Nashville. I got stabbed in Nashville and still almost moved there. The great Christian Perello over
Next time
there,
we'll tell you that story.
Gooning in the booth. We will see you peeps next time.
Yeah, ICP. Peace.